Hello, I'm Kate Stichina, you are watching InstaForex News. The participants of the currency market, observing the advancing profitability of the Greek state bonds, wonder if the euro is going to undergo hardship soon. This cost increase of the financing for Greece testifies that the joint program of the emergency aid from the part of the European Union and the International Monetary Fund, accepted a week ago, does not bring the desired effect. The goal of this agreement was the investors' confidence building to Greece and the decrease of the financing cost for the country. Instead of this, the tenders of the distribution of the Greek government bonds this week were testifying that investors continue to be careful about the purchase of these securities, and the assumed profitability on them achieved the levels which were observed until the aid package was accepted. There are doubts that Greece is able to correspond with the fiscal requirements of France and Germany, and also the efficiency of the emergency fund is under the question. Though the European Union proposed to be a main creditor in case of funds assets usage, the IMF enforced that it will be responsible for any programs of the joint assistance. In this case, the IMF will not provide Greece with the assets on the special terms. This fact again strengthened the fears towards Greece and came in line with the decline of the forecast of the economic activity of Spain and Portugal made by the central banks of these countries, and with the news received from Dublin about the lack of the owned capital necessary for the Irish banks. In other words, rather than to be disappear, the debt problems of Eurozone can start to worsen. It is unlikely that this news will be positive for the euro. Taking into account the decrease of the IMF forecast towards the growth of the economic activity in Germany and delay of the possibility of early interest rates rise in Eurozone, the downward pressure on the common European currency should only increase. However, the euro still almost does not show the signs of the soon exit from the narrow range in which it is traded recently. Since the euro-dollar pair dropped below the rate of 1.40 at the beginning of March and fell below 1.33 at the end of March, the single currency did not show the significant potential of the movement in any direction. According to the forecast of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, published last week, the speculative investors retain their short positions on the euro and extreme high levels. In this case, some technical analysts say that the closing of the euro-dollar pair above the level of 1.35 by the results of the week again will push it to the rate of 1.14. Under these circumstances, the common currency can still ignore its negative outlooks. Now, investors probably are not really intending to move the euro too strongly in one or another direction. The key question is if the movement of the currencies is determined now in greater degree by the unwillingness to risk or by the difference between interest rates. It was Forex News provided to you by InstaForex News team and me, Kate Stichina. Goodbye.